Okay. So the last time what I said was like many people place a lot of importance on mental health, which it should be, but it's not necessary that, you have to be at a certain place before you start manifesting. It's like some people, if they, have some beliefs or some kind of like they are suffering from a certain diagnosis or whatever it is, a condition. So they feel that, oh my God, until I have this and that, then I until I'm not well or until I mentally reach a place, a certain place, only then I can go about my manifestation. But that is not true, because like even in my even in my during my 12th standard, I was diagnosed with depression. And looking at the scores, everybody could, it was not very difficult to, I mean, make out that I was not going to do well or something. And even I had given up hopes, and I was just kind of going through. I just wanted to just give the exam and get done with it. But in spite of that, I think I got what I wanted, because every night before I slept, I was like, no matter what happens today and no matter what happens tomorrow, I am this person. So I have this seat, I have this college in my desired admission, I have this uh, admission in my desired college. So I went on, I persisted despite of, like all of that stuff. So I don't think it really matters what you are. So the only thing that counts, that actually counts, is your stubbornness, is your persistence, is your
Mm.
is your refusal to give up, even whatever it is, like whatever it is your you just refuse to give up. So that is what I want to say about mental health.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I think, yeah, having been diagnosed with depression and anxiety at one point too, like I think you just, yeah, you can't have that as a prerequisite to your manifestation in any way.
Not at all.
Like,
Actually, these
yeah,
are,
yeah,
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 these
yeah.
are some
Mm.
limiting beliefs that we create for ourselves. It's like, oh no, let me
Mm.
have this job, only then I can manifest a promotion, for example. Or let me be in a better space mentally, only then I can start my journey. But these are all limitations. This is again your 3D
Mm.
self. It's like you don't need to. You can directly have that promotion even when you're absolutely jobless, sitting at, you can manifest anything basically. It doesn't require
Mm.
anything. If you want to heal, if look,
Mm.
healing is good. I mean, everybody, if that's your thing, go for it. If you feel that, you want to get rid of some negative stuff or some negative energy and all of that, just go for it, do it, but don't let it limit you. Don't put a condition. It's like, don't put these steps in your journey. Don't do it yourself. If that's what is supposed to
Yeah,
happen
yeah, yeah,
along with
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah.
will. But
Mm.
you don't do it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially when it comes to manifesting SP too, like many get hung up on like the whole texting or phone call, oh,
oh
will this person
Lord.
call me or will this person text me and everything like that, right? So like I always tell people like, go straight to the end. The middle will sort itself out. And like you say, like, if the call is in, the middle of it all, of course it will happen, but don't get hung up on it. Go straight to the end, go straight to the end because nothing is a prerequisite. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like, if who
Mm.
knows? I mean, what could turn up? Who, because see, I'll tell you. Even if today I give any of you or any of us a diary, and I ask you, what do you think? How do you think your desire will come to you? I want you to write it down. But trust me, even if you
Mm.
wrote like 10 ways there, and it won't happen in any of those 10 ways. It's going to happen in the 11th way only. Trust me, this is from my experience, and I know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
So instead of going and micromanaging and thinking about all that, why don't you just go to the end and just live there, enjoy your life, and yeah, let stuff happen. Like, it's already been taken care of. You don't need to do that.
Mhm. So when you like had that depression phase, right? Like how did you get out of it? Like how, did you manifest it or yeah?
Yeah, so for one thing I knew for sure was like, the only way I see, the depression was highly related only to a phase, like that exam. It was really stressing me out, and of course I wanted to get into, I mean, I wanted to crack the exam and be on the other side, and as desperate as I was, but I knew that the only way to do that, so basically my focus was on just giving the exam and getting done with it. And even after that, I didn't think like I'll get, so I'll score this much and all that. So even after giving the exam, my focus was not on the marks or scores as such. It was still on the end result, that is, I am in that college. So then, like, or whatever, I've got a seat already. Because it doesn't matter, like, whether, it really doesn't matter. Like your 3D self just gives the exam, it's just a 3D formality, but what you want already exists. So how that comes into play, that's none of your concern, and it shouldn't be. So even that, even when I was not feeling well, I was like totally, I lost my confidence and everything. So despite of that, I'm very proud of myself that I didn't give up. I mean, this takes basically, actually, this just takes more than courage. I would just say it takes a lot of stubbornness. You should be very stubborn. You should have that brazen impudence,
Mm,
like, or like Neville talks about. You just don't take no. If you don't like something, then why would you stop there? See, when you're traveling, like if you don't like a spot, it's not a good spot, it doesn't have any scenery, then why would you stop there? So I think you should go, just keep going, right? And then there will be a place where
mm.
which you've manifested or which you like, and then you can stop. So don't stop, keep going. Keep going is like what I want to say.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like that's definitely like one of those like things that we really have to know is that like we can't stop in the middle. Like I think
Definitely,
was it
yeah.
Steve Harvey? Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're going through hell, why would you stop in the middle of it all,
Yeah,
or
right.
something like
Yes,
that?
that
Yeah,
quote.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I love, yeah,
Absolutely.
because he's one of those guys who really like like he went through a lot and like he really succeeded. So like I love like
Definitely.
hearing, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, watching his stuff. And also you mentioned once, right, like you had like when you're going through all that stuff, you had like hair loss and those kinds of things. Like, it affected your health as
absolutely.
well. Did
It
it
was too
come back?
much,
Like
yeah.
were you recovering after that, or how did that work for
Yeah.
you?
Let me tell you, I
Mm,
feel on a very broader sense of, on a very broad canvas of consciousness, I feel even all these, all of this, like all of anxiety and depression is just another state. I mean, we humans tend to just overcomplicate it. Then we go to a psychiatrist, then we go to a therapist. But, in a broader sense, it's just another state of mind. So if you could look at it that
mm,
way, I mean, like, you don't need to make it your whole life or your identity for that matter. So it's like only you can help yourself. The faster you disassociate from all of this, I feel it's good for you. And you're just doing yourself a huge favor. Like, some people I know, they just tend to get so much into it. And once they're diagnosed with whatever, then they'll join those groups, then they'll discuss about it, then they'll go to therapy, then they'll discuss some more. But don't you
mm.
see, like, once, as people, as we know the law, then you're just keeping yourself into that state again and again and again.
Precisely.
So why
Yeah,
would
yeah,
you do
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Why
just,
would you?
I feel I'm at a point where I feel everything is a state. And if it's something that you don't like, then you shouldn't dwell there. Like, you always have a choice. Don't tell me you don't, because then you've not reached that, that level, that the detachment to observe yourself as a third person, to observe your thoughts as somebody else. You don't need to indulge into every thought that you get. So I feel, you can, it's up to you. Every, like somebody said, every moment you have a choice. If this is something you don't like it, then don't buy it. Don't buy that thought. Just forget it. Get rid of it. Think about something favorable. If you can't think about something favorable, I know, like, constantly flipping thoughts is also not healthy, and I personally wouldn't suggest that. But then the best way to go about it is like, just keep yourself busy, indulge yourself in your day-to-day activity. I mean,
Mm,
like, if I think, if we had a talk with the universe, I mean, the universe literally says, go and enjoy your life, because I have taken care of everything. Like, literally, if what would your higher self say to you today? Like, obviously he or she's going to say, like, what, the only duty I'm assigning you is to go about your life and enjoy it, because everything you want is there. And as you're enjoying it, you will encounter it. So I feel these days I take my 3D self, as like, there's a job, I have to enjoy my life, and I am. So this is how everything works into place. When you're going about your life and you're enjoying, you're not thinking too much about anything. That's when things start to fall
mm.
into place. And isn't it good? I mean, you're enjoying, and then what can be better than this? You're enjoying your life, and then you're getting your manifestations. I mean, I think it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think like you have to like first try it out in order for you to kind of like
Yes.
get into that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
takes
yeah.
a little bit of practice. Like even Neville talks about it. I think the issue with the community right now is that they're not trying enough. They're not trying it
They are
enough.
not,
Like
yeah, they are
be it,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're
No,
not
go ahead.
trying it
Yeah.
enough. It's
Mm,
like I always say, if you have a desire, then I would say, keep that aside for some time and try to manifest something else first. Because as I say this, and I will continue to say it till the end of time, it's not, you can read 100 success stories every day, and you will really not get anything out of it. And because that is their story, that is their confidence. And two things are very important. Like I feel the two most important things for manifestation is, one is confidence in yourself, which we also, we might say SC, like self concept. That is the confidence that you are actually in charge. And see, it's like until you are alive, you are going to get everything you desire, because it's you who are giving you yourself everything. So it's like, this is, one of my affirmations. It's like, okay, what am I waiting for? Who?
Everything, yeah. Mm. Mm. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dog. Give me a minute. Whose sound? Whose sound? Whose sound is not audible? Hers or mine? Uh, no, like I had like four messages like there is a glitch. Can you guys hear now? Can you guys hear us? Wait, hold on. Let me type it out. Can you guys? Oh. Oh, her, it's you, it's you. But I can hear you though. I don't know. I can hear you though. Not her. Yeah,
Sonali, can you hear me now?
your voice is audible, not ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Don't.
Oh no. Mm. Unplug it and plug it back, dude. Like, yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Now is it?
Test.
Hello.
No, I can hear you. That's the. Oh, ma'am, you're
Okay,
demoted to
now
babe now. Oh my God.
keep quiet. Now they can hear me. Keep quiet. Don't laugh. Don't laugh like
Oh
that.
yeah. No, you're demoted. You're demoted right now to babe. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
You're not ma'am
Sonali.
anymore. Yeah.
Keep
You're not
quiet.
ma'am anymore. Yeah,
Yeah. She's my friend. Okay, yeah, whatever.
yeah. It is.
Hmm.
Oh, really? I see. I see. Sure. Oh my God. No, but the video we can't do anything, guys. Like we really can't. Yeah. Video we really can't do anything about it for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, because like I don't know, it's her network is probably the thing. Look at me, like, okay, like trust me. No, just okay. Like, let me just address this really quick. Okay, like the audio, we can hear it. Like, so it will probably be something that will be recorded like in the video itself when I save it. So yeah, don't worry about it. You guys can catch it on YouTube again. So yeah, don't worry about it for the time being, guys. Yeah, it will be uploaded onto YouTube. Yeah.
Ah, that's enough.
So.
That's enough. Hmm.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Fine.
Mm,
Go ahead.
mm.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so where were we? Okay. Where were we? I'm trying to think right now. Uh, okay, so we were talking about bump in the road and oh my God, I'm really lost right now.
Okay, so yeah. What else? What was
Okay,
what was
so
left? I
okay,
mean,
let's talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
something. Yeah. I wanted to talk about something which was really that the yogi thing that was in my Q&A the other day.
Don't. I'll
I
answer
wanted to
that
like
separately. No, not here.
okay,
Not now.
yeah, because I really want to get to really you wanna do it privately, is it?
Yes.
Sure,
Not
sure, sure.
not right.
Okay, okay,
No,
okay.
not here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure, 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 sure. What
Hmm.
else? What else were we talking in the previous one that was cancelled?
Okay,
There was a
yeah,
few
I'll
things
tell
that we
you.
covered.
Okay, so I'll tell you a
Mm-hmm.
recent experience of my like one of my friends. So she was okay, so like she's pretty much new to this manifestation thing. So I want to address a very important actually the most important thing when it comes to manifestation, and that is letting it go. I mean the letting it go. Like this is very important. Like you could do everything and everything on this planet, and yet you will you sit and wonder that what am I doing wrong, or what is why it's not happening. So actually whoever, I mean, people who take coaching, I'm sure that they have one desire that they're very desperate to get or whatever to achieve. So I think the first and the foremost thing that you should work on is removing that attachment from that desire, because until you do that, it's going to be, you're just going to make it more difficult. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen or something, but if you want to make it happen faster and in an easier way, then I think first you should work on letting that attachment go, letting that obsession go. How you can do this is again, focus on yourself, keep yourself busy. Also I realize that many people do affirmation. Again, I'm not against affirmations. I'm not against anything. But I'm just talking here from my personal experience and how things have worked for me. It's like whenever okay, so like suppose Gautam, what is one thing that you really like? I mean, in some object or something that you possess, something that you really like.
Something that I really like.
Yeah, it can be
I'm not
anything like
sure.
headphones or whatever, anything.
I'm looking at it right. I'm not sure, dude. Okay, I don't know. Like maybe my watch. Let's go with that
Okay, fine.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So your watch. So maybe, at one point of time you really wanted this fancy watch and now you have it. So I want
Yeah.
to ask you a question. So
Mhm.
it's like when you go about your day-to-day life, how many times does that thought of having your watch cross through your mind?
At that time, I
No, no,
visualized
no,
it. I had
not
okay.
at that time. Right now, right now.
Mhm.
Right now, do
I
you think
mean,
about your
only if
watch
I
at
go
all?
out. No, 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 no. Only if I go out, obviously. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you're trying to
Exactly.
do. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So so what we actually need to do here, it's like I tell this to all the people who come to discuss the law with me. It's like, look, your subconscious is not some stupid fat kid out there, okay? It is very smart. You can't trick your subconscious. If you
It's a
think that
smart,
you
skinny
can,
skin.
and
Yeah.
if you think you can trick your subconscious and give it some treats and some candies in forms of affirmations, and you're doing
Mm-hmm.
look, okay, if the actually we are trying to
Mm-hmm.
replicate okay, for example, let's take SP. So people who are in a relationship, do you think that they every morning when they wake up, they sit with their notebooks and they read all these affirmations? I'm 100% sure that that's not the case. When you wake up, I don't think that anybody who's in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
will sit and affirm and all of that. And how much ever you try to tell your mind that I'm doing these affirmations because, not because I want it, but because I from the point of view of someone who has it, but still you won't do it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
every time you're doing something, or you're trying something, or you're doing anything that is even remotely related to, you're trying to get the desire, you're actually telling your subconscious that you don't have it. Because honestly, if you would be in a relationship, you would probably just wake up happy and go about your day-to-day life and all of that. So whenever you want anything, it can be an SP, it can be a house, it can be a car, it can be a laptop. Your all your efforts should first, in the beginning, should be actually, what we're trying to do here is to replicate that state of a
Yeah,
person who
yeah,
has
yeah.
it. And a person, trust
Mm-hmm.
me, and any person who has anything is not thinking about it throughout the day. I mean,
Mm.
you can think from it. Like, suppose if I'm in a relationship, then in the morning I wake up and I go to work and all of that. And in the evening I get a call and then, he or she asks, like, okay, so are you free? Then let's go for a date or something. But that is very that is like thinking from it. Like, that is taking things as they come in your 3D. You are not always going to be thinking, oh, you know what, if I had my SP, then I would go on a date with them and all of that. It's no, like for that watch, you only think of it when you probably go out. So it's like, then it comes from a utility point of view, then it comes from a practical point of view, not from a desire point of view. So that's what we want to do, to so anybody state who has anything, may it be a car, a watch, or an SP, it is definitely not thinking of it all the time. It's about going about your day to day life and enjoying your life. And yeah, basically that. So your uh, actually, there's nothing going on in your mind when you actually have a thing. This is a very, it's a
Mm.
fact. If you would have
But to
it, you
get to
wouldn't
that
think of it.
point, yeah. But to
that
get to
that
that
also
point,
takes
like, yeah,
practice.
that is the, yeah, it takes practice. That's what I wanted to say. Like, you need to saturate your mind to think and act
Exactly.
like that person who already has it. So you need to, that's why, like, I always say, like, techniques, whatever techniques that you choose, repetition and consistency is the key there. Because
Yes, yes,
especially like
yes, very important.
people in the Facebook groups and everything, they will always talk about, like, okay, what affirmation did you choose when, like, someone posts a success story or something, right? And then, like, the point is, that's not the key there. The key is to be
Yes,
consistent and have that, in a repeated fashion. Like, however, you may be doing it, you need to be consistent with it. When Neville does something, right, if you like look closely at his stories, he always does it on a consistent basis. Whether it was
absolutely,
imagining him going to Barbados or him with
absolutely.
his wife and everything. Yeah, he always did it consistently. And that's the main thing, that you need to saturate your mind, and naturally you will forget about it. Like, you will naturally detach yourself. That's the
Exactly.
main thing there. Yeah. Mm.
So it's like, also I want to correct one thing. Consistently does not mean all the time. Consistently does not mean
Yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
day, all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it does not mean that.
Mm.
It's like over a certain period of time. Okay, let's say that today I want to manifest a laptop. Then maybe, today I visualize it, and then after 4 days I visualize it. But okay, so like every day I'm not doing it, but over the next 2 months I have this thing at the back of the mind that this laptop that I want to manifest. So as long as it's there,
Mm.
even if it's there, and I'm telling you, you're lucky if it's there in the back of your mind, because that's where actually it should be, and that's how it'll come faster to you. If you're consciously always thinking about the laptop, then you are actually delaying it.
See, yeah. When I say consistently, I do mean that, you have to, like, do it on like a daily basis at least, especially in the beginning, because people sometimes they
Yes,
are like,
in the beginning. Yeah,
so hung up on the
yeah.
old story that,
Oh Lord, yeah.
they may not be able to really, like, sort of reprogram really quickly and in a most efficient way. So that's why, like, I mean, obviously you're not going to do it like every, throughout the day, but
Throughout
you
the day.
want
Yeah,
to have some sort of a routine that helps you to stay on track daily, at least in the very beginning. I would say, like, maybe the first 2 to 3 weeks minimum, right?
absolutely.
And that's where, yeah, at least 21 days to be consistent with it. And then as time goes by, you can reduce the frequency in which you do it, because you're already starting to believe everything. And then, you will
Exactly.
reach the Sabbath and, all that stuff eventually. So there's that
Yes.
as well. But in the beginning, at least, like, I would say daily, but not like throughout 24/7. You're not going to be doing that. When you're doing work, you focus on that and all that kind of stuff. But, like, maybe morning and, like, at night before you go to bed, those are very crucial times that you can definitely
Yes.
use. So use them to your advantage there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm yeah, so this stage that I have reached right now is not like overnight. Like previously, even I needed convincing, even my mind needed convincing. So like previously I used to do it like every day, then over some, like over a period of time, then I stopped. Then when I gained this like god level of confidence, then now I'm like, it's okay, it's already done, so I don't have to do anything. So basically everything is like,
Mm.
it's a practice. It takes practice. It's the kind of confidence that you
Yeah.
build in yourself, actually that's the only thing you'll ever need to manifest anything. So it's
Yeah,
like, how
yeah,
much
yeah,
do you
yeah, yeah.
trust
So what was
yourself?
your first manifestation? Like, what was your first
Oh,
manifestation? Do you remember?
l-
Like, conscious
like
one.
the conscious, I told, I think everyone knows this story. I manifested a specialization branch for my friend, like, So
That was
yeah.
your first
So
ever like conscious one, is it?
yeah, the first conscious manifestation. Like, so, and let me tell you a fun fact.
Mm,
Absolutely, I thought I was doing some kind of math stuff because my former coach, she was like, you know what, you do this, you revise the scene, you think, you imagine her telling you that she's got this so and so branch, and then she'll get it. I
mm,
was like, what, are you nuts? So but then I was like, okay, fine, let me give this a try. And I did that,
mm,
and
mm,
whenever I thought of her, so the only thing that I actually did is, whenever I had a thought about her and this whole thing, I did my visualization, like, she's messaging me and I'm saying congratulations and all of that. So that is all that I've done. And whenever I thought of her, I did this, and I let it go. I mean, there was nothing more to do, right? So, and it actually happened. And it actually happened. And I still remember it. I was like, shit, this shit works. Like, really, it does work. So,
mm.
so that's why I say that, so that's how I compare that manifestation with all my others, because I didn't do anything, extraordinary. I didn't do something fancy. I didn't go about saying affirmations, or, like, oh
Yeah,
yes, my
yeah,
friend
yeah,
has got
yeah,
the
yeah,
seat and
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that. So it's my
Mm,
funda, my like my secret or my principle when it comes to
and
manifestations
mm.
is minimum effort and maximum output. So if you would
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well said.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what
yeah.
would you prefer? Like, so, and this principle can only work on one basis, and that is detachment. When you're not very attached, when you let it go, when you let it flow.
Hmm. But a lot of people, okay, like for me, when I first manifested my first manifestation, and tell me what you think of it. I wasn't detached as well, but like, okay, I was detached, but like at the same time, I used to think about it from time to time, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
either
of
way, I
course you
was
will.
cool. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Of
yeah, yeah,
course you
yeah.
will. I mean, look, if you have to think about it, at
Mm,
least think the good things. I'm not saying go and
definitely.
get
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Alzheimer's.
yeah.
It's not, that's not possible.
Mm,
Especially when it comes to SPs. I am 100% sure
mm.
people will have these questions. Like, I can't stop thinking about my SP. Then don't. I mean, nobody's telling you to stop thinking about yourself, but
By listing
stop thinking about them.
favorably.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
think, if you want to think, then you can think about, if this is someone you have a history with, think of the good moments that you spent with them, or just like, yeah, imagine their face, their loving face, and all the good things. Basically, nobody's telling you to not think about it, but don't obsess
Don't
don't
obsess with it. Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
obsessed. Like, obsession. And yeah, the other day I think we spoke about this, and I really like that answer. I was like, what's the difference between obsession and thinking about it all the time? Because they,
Mm,
like, even like when you're obsessed, you think about it all the time, and even when you're in love, you might think about a person all the time. So what's the difference? So obsession is very fear based. It's like, oh my
fear-based.
god,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like, see, you know what, when you're obsessed, or when the place that you're coming from is lack of fear, I feel the base bottom state of your mind is, if I stop thinking about it, then I might,
Mm.
because you're so afraid that, if you stop thinking about it, then it might just go away.
Basically, fear of losing and fear of being forgotten by SP, basically.
Yeah, or this
Like
is
that's
actually,
the
these are all
underlying,
your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
these are all your mental gymnastics to keep that thought going. Or, if you feel that if you stop thinking about your SP, then you're not going to manifest them. But that's far from the truth. I mean, that's complete opposite actually. If I tell you, because to
Mm.
manifest something, you don't need to think about it at all. I mean, even like once or twice you put your intention out and you visualize and you do, like, if you feel like you really wanted, it's yours already. Like so with that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I think that's the main thing, like just coming at it from a place of love, not just for SP, like but for everything in life. When
Absolutely.
you want something, the job you desire, always come at it from a place of love. Like when my first ever manifestation was like a group of friends, okay?
Yeah,
And
you
I
told me.
remember like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, I don't think like we talk about it in the first one or in our failed recording. I don't know which one was it, But
I think it was
yeah,
the fail
so
recording one. Hmm.
yeah, I think it was the failed recording. So for those of you who need a bit of context here, we did try to record something and it failed miserably. So there was
Yeah,
like no audio at all. So
great.
yeah, and
So
I think
whenever
yeah,
someone
yeah,
says
yeah.
no audio, it really freaks me out. Yeah.
No, see, that's the thing. I can hear her. I can hear her, guys. Like trust me, like it has to work. Like, if not, it's really not meant to be uploaded onto YouTube. Like that's all I can say.
If if
Like,
not, I've told him I'm gonna block him and yeah, whatever. This is like the last time,
yes, yes, freedom.
Okay.
No one's gonna pester me to come to India anymore. Yes, I
Oh
don't need to
my
renew my
God.
visa.
Okay, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, now the entire YouTube knows my status. But anyways, yeah. Uh, like I think the first time I manifested like my friends was like literally I used to imagine like, okay, wouldn't it be wonderful if I had a few people to share food and like just
Exactly.
hang out with and everything. It took
Yes.
me 6 months, but I remember the moment I was like sitting down with them and I'm like, holy shit, like I manifested this.
Yes, the
Like,
holy shit
yeah.
moment is
And this was
everything.
like right when I learned, yeah, 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 yeah. And it was like right when I started learning the secret. And that was when I was like, oh wow, okay, this works. But but what followed for the next 3 years was an absolute failure of me trying to apply the law. I
Why?
don't know if this has ever happened to you, but like after my first few success stories, here's the thing. So my studies, right? I tried to apply it. Straight went downhill. And I think the bottom line was I was not living in the end state of mind. Simply put, I was thinking of the desire and not thinking from it. And
So, like,
also,
could you
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
give an example, like, of what exactly, like, what were your thoughts? If you could, just recall, like, because that will really help people. Like,
No,
what,
no, no.
what?
Okay, so I was failing my exams, right? Left, right, and center.
Ah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
That's why I went into depression. Yeah, that happened to me in my 12th. It's okay. I was
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
failing all
yeah,
the
yeah.
tests, like literally.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So like the long story short was I was in the student council, okay, and I couldn't manage my time and things
Hmm.
went downhill. But the problem was like I don't know what was it in the beginning. I remember there was this one math test, okay, like it was a very like stupid math test, but I had a panic attack somewhere. Like I that was the first time I think I had a panic attack, and I didn't even know what a panic attack actually was back then. And I realized I think my confidence went straight downhill after that.
That's,
And
yeah, I
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
understand. I can relate.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and from there, I started to put myself down all the time. It's constantly putting myself down all the time. And I think the most important thing there was also now that I'm speaking to you, I recall was I tied my self worth to my studies. So
Mm,
every time it
that's
went to shit,
exactly. So
yeah,
that's what I did. That's how I landed up in depression, because I was like, if I can't, like, I was seeing those stupid scores. They were in my face. Like, with every test I gave, I could see that, right? Those scores were in my face. Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna
mm,
do, because yeah, at that point of time, it didn't matter how. If I was an excellent person, it didn't matter if I was the greatest singer in the world. But all I cared about was, if I'm getting these scores, then I don't I wasn't feeling worthy. If I'm getting these scores, I must be pathetic. So that's what the state of mind was.
yeah,
I'm sure you
yeah,
can
yeah,
relate.
yeah, 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 yeah. So that was the thing. Like I think ultimately, like it was a cycle. It was a vicious cycle that repeated for another 3 years.
Exactly.
Bloody 3 years. Like I wish I had that opportunity, and that what it made me was it made me numb to failure, which then allowed me to detach from the whole thing. I was like, okay, no
Hmm.
matter what, I'm gonna disassociate myself from anything, and I'm not going to assign that, okay, if I'm good at this, only then am I worthy. I am worthy just because of the fact that I am breathing right here,
Exactly,
right now.
exactly, exactly.
That
Yes.
is the only thing. And I'm not like Thor, it's not like once I get my hammer, only then I'm worthy. Even without my hammer, I am worthy, so to speak.
Yes.
Right? Like that's the analogy I always use. I'm like, okay, how Thor in the end game, like he will actually like go back in time and like he will try to get the hammer back in Asgard, like as he's visiting his mother, and then he's like, oh, I'm worthy, I'm still worthy. But even without that, you should feel worthy, if that makes sense. Like that's how
No,
you
you
should,
should
tackle
always
it.
feel
Like,
worthy.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because you are. That's the fact. You
Yeah,
are. You are worthy of, receiving all that you desire. You are worthy of receiving all the love from your SP. There's no prerequisite. Don't let
exactly.
society fool you that way. Like, not money, not status, not anything. You can have it all, and it will all come to you once you allow yourself to have it. But you need to accept the fact that you are now worthy.
Exactly.
And that was
So I,
what the mindset that I took into life. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
No, no, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that this again, this boils down to only
Mm,
one thing, that is your self concept. That would you really think you deserve it? Because see, I'll tell you what happens. It's like when you ask somebody who's been a conscious manifestor, who's had a lot of experience with this, they will tell you that a lot of time you get these questions like, is this possible? Is X and XYZ possible? Of course, the answer is always going to be a yes. Can I manifest a private jet today? The answer is yes. And can I manifest a cup of coffee? It's always going to be yes. So it doesn't matter what your manifestation is. But the only thing that creates a difference, or like the people who get it and the people who don't, I feel the only thing, again, it's really tied to your self-worth. Because see, if when one if you feel that you don't deserve something, then it sort of creates
mm,
a huge gap between you and your desire. Then you feel like, oh, people who don't get it, then they have, I'm sure they have these underlying thoughts like, but don't you think it's too good for me? But don't you think it's too soon for me? I'm so young, how can I be a millionaire? Or don't you think, or some sort of thing where, but the bottom line is, on some level you feel that you don't deserve it. And then when you feel that you don't deserve it, then you are simply creating this gap between you and your desire. Then your desire doesn't feel one to you, then your desire doesn't feel something that you deserve to have. And once that is the
mm.
case, then you are not one with your desire. If you're not one with your desire, then you're constantly keeping it at a distance. You're constantly keeping it like far away from you, because you think it's on a pedestal. Then you think it's something you have to achieve, something you have to try, you have to strive for it, but actually you don't. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people always say, like, that's why we always say, like, I am is basically the unconditioned awareness, which is faceless and formless. And by associating something else with the I am, you become one with it. Like, let's say the
exactly.
status of a millionaire, when you appropriate it, like, that's why Never always says, like, you go into that neutral state first before going into
Exactly.
your desire, basically. So you disassociate yourself from the current identity, and then you go into the I am state. Then you go into your embody your desire, because that's much easier. Because right now, I think what a lot of people are trying to do is they will try to, like, try to fix, or like try to embody the new story with their old identity. And it's like
Exactly.
like what Neville says, it's like new wine in an old bottle, or like patching like old clothes with like new stuff. It's never going to be like that way. Like, it's never going to be the same. You need to like
Yeah.
completely discard this story, this identity, and everything associated with this, and go into the I am state by separating yourself and seeing those thoughts pass by, and then you embody a new thought, and then you become that person you want to be, basically. Yeah.
Yes, so like I think
Mm.
in your recent video you said that if you can't be positive, at least be neutral. Like if you can't be a
Neutral.
plus one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but don't
yeah,
be a
yeah, yeah.
minus one, because that's something I
Mm.
really liked, and that's something I really want to say. Like
Thank you. Yeah.
look, attachment, trying, lack is never, it can never be a fertile ground for manifesting your desires. It's never a fertile ground for anything good in your life. Because and I've been there. It feels so hopeless, it feels so miserable to be desperate or to want something so much that it takes precedence over everything else in your life. And I really don't want to be in that place anymore. Like whatever it is, whether it's my desire or no, whether it's anything, it is not more important than me and my mental health. So I'm at a place where I don't care. Like if you are in my life, good. If you're not, great. I really don't care, because I'm here to live my life, because that's what I deserve. I deserve happiness. I deserve to
Mm.
have a relaxed state of mind. I deserve peace. When I'm sleeping at night, I don't want to think how everything is going to happen. So basically, these days, it's my whole focus is on being more relaxed, and I feel that's the best gift you can give yourself. Like when I sleep, I'm so happy that I don't have to do anything because everything is being taken care of. I sleep like a 5-year-old child whose mom has promised her that tomorrow when you wake up you will have your favorite cookies. So the way you trust your mom, why can't you trust your higher self? Like, if you tell your mom, like, okay, so I want to have this, I want to eat this particular dish. So, you'll think that no, but there aren't enough ingredients in the house, so it doesn't matter. Your mom will go out in the market, she'll purchase them, and then she'll make that dish for you. So you trust when you tell your mom, right? You tell her only once, you don't have to constantly go and tell your mom, like. So that's how actually our
Mm.
higher self is. I mean, our higher self really, really, really is out there just for us, just to serve us, just to help us, like the god in us. Like, it's really our subconscious, it's really all for us, like, genuinely. If you trust it enough, and you will never be disappointed, like, genuinely. Like, I really like that
Mm.
sentence. I think who said it, I don't know, you only said, I heard from you. It's like god shall not be mocked, and it really, it if you go in with your full faith, if you fully surrender, if you fully it, please, like, provided you fully surrender, like not half asset or something, but if you fully surrender, if you trust it, if you have faith in such a to such a
Mm.
degree that it's this or nothing else, if you have no plan B. See, you know what, like, I'll tell you the difference between surrendering fully and surrendering not completely. It's like when you have fully surrendered, even your mind will not accept something that it apart from this, like you won't even have any other thought. It's like this or that, no, it's
You won't
only
settle
this,
for
it has
less,
to.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah, yeah,
only
yeah.
this, it's this or nothing, and this
Mm.
it will be, because I trust my god.
Yeah, it's basically your way or the highway, basically. It's either you do it or you don't, kind of thing. It's like dealing it in
Yeah, it's
absolutes, basically.
absolutely,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not this or that, it's only this, and this is what it will be because I have said so.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's like
So
going in with
if
that kind of mindset, like, only plan A works, kind of thing.
absolutely,
Like,
because
yeah, yeah,
i'm
yeah,
telling you
yeah.
i'm telling you the moment you have a plan B, that means you're fooling yourself. That means you don't have faith.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, like, you think you can be a little sly, and then you can have this a little small plan B, like, oh, that little exit door that you have. No, there's no plan B, there's only plan A, and that is what it has to be because I have imagined it to be so. See, if you
Mm.
can be
Yeah, yeah,
if you
yeah,
can be
yeah.
if you can be this crazy and insane, that then you're bound to get results because I've got it every time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We have to, because there's no other way. Like,
There's no
because
other
I
way.
don't, yeah, 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 because I don't compromise for any of the, like, whatever my circumstances say or anything like that. Like, and like when you are like so cool, like, okay, this has to happen. Where is it going to
Of
go,
course
kind
it
of
has.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it just comes to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it like time and time again, this has been proven to me. So I'm like, really, like
Yeah.
at this point, I'm like kind of chill about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. At this point, I'm so chill about it. It's like I really have a lot of experience to even doubt this, or I really have too much experience with the law to doubt it, or to have any kind of fear her. So I'm absolutely chilled at this point of time.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm like not too concerned about like anything, like if people say something, like I'm like, okay, cool, but just do
Yeah,
this and it'll happen. And then you come at it from a very objective standpoint already. And
absolutely.
like my most like important like dilemma sometimes is like, okay, what shall I really want to experience? Like those are
Exactly.
like, okay, do I want to experience this or that kind of thing? Yeah. But other than that, like I don't have like doubts in like what can be
No, no,
experienced.
no,
It's more like, okay,
not at
what
all.
I want to experience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
like I say, like, I will ask, like, to me, to myself, or to anybody who comes to me with this to experience this law, I'll only ask you. It's like I'm going to only ask you one thing, and I'm going to only ask you this once. What is it that you want? And that is the only thing, trust me, that matters. That's the only thing that matters. Like, whatever has happened before or what you think will happen in the future, that is really, all of that is not existing at this point. It's really like you only have now. So now is of utmost importance. So I ask only one question: what is it that you want? Define it very clearly and stick to it. because that's what matters, and that's what you're going to see if you do this properly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you have to stick to it. You have to like be
of course.
consistent with it, and like just and like I think Neville was the one who said it, like God shall not be mocked. Like that's where I heard it from,
I
and I really
no, no,
love
no,
that
I
phrase.
love that
Yeah, yeah,
sentence.
yeah.
I really love that.
Mm,
Also, I read it on some,
mm,
I don't know where it was, but I think somebody has posted this, and or I don't know, like it's like at the end, God is not being tested. We are. It makes so much
yeah.
sense. I mean,
Mm,
like, God is like our higher self is all ready for us. Like, if you want this, yeah, you can have it. If you want that, you can have that as well. But the only thing that you can do and you have to do as your 3D self is to have have blind faith and to just go on about your life. I mean, if you can manage to do
mm.
these two things perfectly and fully, then nothing can stop you. I feel like absolutely nothing can stop you.
Yeah. Because it won't. Like honestly, because like I don't know if you saw one of my recent posts where I spoke about free will, and like I
Hmm.
was like looking back and like rereading Neville stuff, and like he talks about free will in this way where you only have free will to choose your desire. Technically,
Oh
you don't
yeah,
have any
right.
free will over your actions.
Yeah,
Even
you
you
don't.
don't
You
have free
really don't.
will. Yeah, yeah,
Y-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean that the desire is so much upon you, and when it's time, to bear the fruit, and when it's about to bear its fruit, even you don't have any free will. You won't, and you will understand this if
Mm,
if you have some experience with this law. You will be moved. I mean, you think you're smart. Again, I'm telling you, don't fool your subconscious. Don't think that you can trick it or you can, outsmart it or something. But like you will be
mm.
moved. Like
You will be. Like that's why I always say like don't put pressure on your actions, but all you
yeah,
really
yeah,
have to
yeah.
do is just
Just
stick to the assumption. Stick to the assumption that it's already there. Like
yeah,
like stay consistent with your
and
assumptions and like
yeah,
keep going that way. Yeah.
and if you really believe that it's done and it's yours, then you won't think about it again. It's a vicious cycle.
Mm,
Like if I know that sorry, if I know that I've placed my order. So, like, when you go in a restaurant and your only job is actually to take a look at the menu and not go in the kitchen and see what ingredients are there. So
not see.
you don't decide what you want to eat after taking a round around
Yeah,
the kitchen, after talking to those waiters. Do you think I can get this dish? Or, like, last time I came here, but do you think you still have that or
yeah.
something like
They'll
that?
end up spitting in
So,
your food.
so okay, so the only thing,
Yeah,
your only job, keep quiet. So your only job is to look at the menu and say that I want this. So it's
yeah.
none of your business. It's not your job to go out and check whether how it's being made or whether they have it. If they don't have it, they'll get it. Okay. And they manage something, but that's not your business. So as
Mm,
long as you can keep your thoughts and your routines or your assumptions focused on the menu part, you are bound to get it. It's like, yeah.
yeah. That's about it, honestly.
Hmm.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about revision. I think we spoke about it in our failed one as well, right? Like we spoke about revision, letters, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how did that go for you? How do you have you ever tried the letter technique? Like, what's your experience with it? Like, yeah.
I haven't actually. So the way I do it is I abandon everything. I just I left it. I didn't do it because for me not doing
Mm,
anything is the best way to do everything. I mean, when it comes to manifestation, obviously.
mm,
So I'm
mm,
pretty much not doing anything because again for me it's like if I really had that thing, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'd be reading anybody's letter at night.
mm.
So
So when you say
like
do nothing, like what do you mean? Like, don't you do any routine, or how do you go about it right now? Like for your okay,
okay.
say you manifest a car, how would you go
Hmm.
about it right now? Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do is, of course, I would go about my day-to-day life. I would wake up and do all the usual stuff. But whenever I have the thought of the car, or okay, this is my desire, then I'll visualize myself, driving it, and after that I'll just leave it
Mm,
like that, and I'm not going to
okay.
go and do my affirmation. So basically, whenever throughout the day I get those thoughts, I go to my scene. So there's one very specific scene that I have for every desire. That's why I'm telling you, be very specific when it comes to what you want. Now, when I'm doing this car scene, there is only one scene, and it is very, very specific, and it never changes till the time that desire manifests. So it's not like, one
Mm.
day. So suppose the scene is like I'm opening the door and I'm getting inside, and then I drive the car and out of my building. So if suppose this is a scene,
Mm.
then that will be the scene I'd go to every time. It won't change. Then I won't imagine my car being in a park. So that's how I take repetition as. So your brain gets
Right,
used to
right,
that
right.
one thing. Okay, for me, for
Mm.
personally, that is repetition. Like I don't change that scene.
Fair enough. Yeah, 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 yeah. So when you
So
only think about it when those desires just like comes to your mind, basically.
yeah, absolutely. Like when I have the thought, oh yeah, 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 the car, yes. Then I think about that and I let it go. And that's
I see.
actually,
Mm.
oh, that's it. I have done this for everything that I wanted, and I have never failed. So
Fair
like,
enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, there hasn't been any manifestation of mine that has not come to fruition. Like it's always worked out. It really, I mean, I don't know if this is good or bad, but then genuinely, I don't have failure rate. I mean,
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Honestly, like I would say, like, that's definitely a good thing to be. You should be proud of yourself because, like, especially without doing any sort of technique, especially like that just shows how powerful
I
you are,
feel,
kind of thing.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that's only the secret of my manifestation, that I don't do anything, because I want to tell people that this is how easy it can be if you let it.
Mm,
So
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, so my way is to not do anything about the desire, how much, whatever it is, just let it go. Like, whenever you think of it, you know what to do. Like, you go to your scene and leave it at that. I mean, it's okay, it's done.
Yeah, 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 yeah. For revision wise, what I would do is that I would literally have a conversation with my inner child. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I do. Yeah, so I would just
Okay.
visualize my younger self and I would just talk to that person like, okay, this happened, but it's okay, it's fine. And like I would imagine like just talking to the inner child, and like, especially when it comes to like past traumas, especially
Oh
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I
right.
would revise those things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like those kinds of things, that's how I would revise it. For some stuff that I wanted a better experience or something, I would just visualize it. Whenever I think about it, I'll just visualize it and drop it. The letter,
Correct.
like I only used it in like maybe 2 to 3 instances tops, but it worked like a charm. Like who, that the letter shred. I shredded the letter, right? I eventually shredded that letter, um, you know, and that person ended up telling me like exactly
Yeah.
everything to the point where I'm like, wait, what? Like I remember that letter though. Like I had like eidetic memory. Like I knew what I wrote, and I'm like, no, like I was like, wait, what? Like
Yeah,
that's
no,
when I
no, that
realized
that
it. Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
holy shit, that holy shit moment again.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's always that. Like no matter how many
It's
times it
always that.
happens, it's always
It
like
all,
it's always that.
yeah, it's always that,
Uh,
exactly. No matter how much ever experience you have, but always you'll have a holy shit moment after your manifestation. This is for sure, guys. This is for
yeah,
sure.
do you like if you're like walking down the street or something and then you just kind of like freeze and pause, you're like, okay, holy shit, I manifested that, or like it just comes to you, right? Like,
Yeah, it has happened to me because like you're so subconsciously you're thinking about all this shit and stuff, and then sometime when thing happen, like that day, like my I was imagining a scene, and then my somebody told me like, oh yeah, would you do that? I'm like, yeah, of course, but oh my god, wait, this is what I've imagined. This is all my doing. So that holy shit moment is
mm,
always going to be there, like when you're going about it through your life, and then one moment you're like, oh my god, but this is what I manifest, this is what I saw, or this is what I wanted, like, or whatever, like it'll hit you.
it'll hit you. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Of
yeah.
course, yeah.
And that's the thing, like like honor. That's one thing I really wanted to cover was like honor how far you've come. Honor that, like like how far you have come. Like a lot of people tend to forget about all those things, like okay, they are not appreciative or grateful for the journey that they have taken
Yeah,
thus far in their life, you know
but I feel
and
you
yeah,
should,
yeah, yeah.
because not only it's gratefulness is something that is good, but it'll also build your SC again. It's like Okay, so of course, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay, don't
No,
laugh.
no,
It's
I'm
because
I'm
of
reading.
you.
No, no, no. I'm reading the comments, dude. Did you see
Don't.
like
Yeah,
what's being
don't.
written?
Yes, but because of you, I'm laughing. I'm talking something here.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like you should be grateful because I'll tell you, because see, like every
Mm-hmm.
time, even though even it's a minor manifestation, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
it could be some song that I wanted to hear on a radio. But if that happens, then why won't you take a moment and why won't you give a little pat to yourself, like, "Oh, yeah, that is what this is what I
Mm-hmm.
am powerful." So the more you remind yourself of your power, and actually that's the only job you have to do, and you have to build. You have only two jobs actually. First, to build
Yeah,
your
yeah.
confidence and have faith in your power, and second is to have, yeah, that's it. Confidence and faith is all what it takes, and detachment, not being obsessed and not thinking about it all the time, because that's really not a place. You don't want to be there. It's a very pathetic place. I've been there, trust me.
Mm, yeah, so
uh,
that's why I really wanted to cover the whole gratitude aspect of it because I feel like, even before you get your desire, you need to be like, not say it's a prerequisite, but like I feel like
yeah,
it's a catalyst somewhere. Gratitude is
definitely.
definitely a catalyst. Yeah, 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 yeah. So like because I feel like okay, if you're grateful for something that you already like, have in your mind, it has to come to you, faster because like
Of course.
yeah, because you feel gratitude can't be fake, so gratitude means that you are already living in the end as well. So like
Definitely.
when you're truly living in the end, only then you can invoke a sense of gratitude. Like one thing that I have
Absolutely.
noticed for my experience is that, yeah, like I can't affirm, oh, I'm grateful for so and so. I have to
Hmm.
feel it within, I have to feel it real within, and then the gratitude
Exactly.
just comes automatically.
Yeah,
And
and
even the
like
whole ability of like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, sometimes even when
No,
you're just
go ahead,
sitting
yeah.
and you're just wondering about how far you've come and all that. So don't tell me that there is not even a single moment where you're not grateful for how everything has worked out for you. Like, even though at that moment of time, at that point in time, you thought like, no, I think I should kill myself, but then eventually look where you are. It all did work out for you. So why can't you be grateful? Like, at the end,
Mm,
your higher self did come. I mean, it did rescue you, and you are where you are, and you're happy, you're good. You have good people around you and all of that. So what if there's some stupid desire out there that you're desperate? Just forget it for a moment. Now you can do that. So why can't you be grateful for at least 5 minutes? Like, just take out some time and think, like, yeah, I really, you should be proud of yourself also. Like, I love myself for, surviving things that I thought that. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
definitely agree
so
with that because it's like, mm, no, go ahead, yeah.
yeah. No, no, yeah, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like, for example, when you're having like that small injury or something, and then you feel like, oh no, I didn't know that actually had a function in my body, sort of a feeling before. Like when you have a
Yes.
muscle cramp or something, and then you're like, holy shit, I didn't know this actually existed, kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. When you
Okay,
pull that
doc. Okay,
little
yeah, yeah.
unwanted muscle. Yeah.
Sorry to disturb you, doc. Like, okay, this is going to end in about 2 minutes, so I'll just
Okay,
end
yeah,
it
yeah,
right
yeah.
now and then restart the whole thing again. Okay.
Sure, sure. Done. Sure.
Okay, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.